This is the 3 things what you can do to make this person better and more effective in what they're doing. And this brings me to the end. I hope I didn't bore you too much. But again, these are the 3 books. If somebody's interested, come and look at in my office. So again, what I showed you is not my ideas. So it's really, I'm stealing this from these books. John Maxwell. I Care Today. These guys, I don't know if you've ever met them. They are really funny characters. I have seen a couple of seminars from them, and they're throwing around these carrots. They're great speakers. And I felt that this is something we can do much better job there. And then, of course, you all know about this book because it comes out originally from the Scallops. And this guy then wrote this. And I really enjoying this because it starts creating somewhere, that's a good point. Are we going down this path? So with this, I think we're almost out of time. Perhaps, I don't know if we have perhaps 1 or 2 quick questions, or if not, then again, thanks for coming. I hope I didn't bore you too much. Are there any quick questions before we all disjourn?
Can you share your big dream with us?
Yes. Again, I tell you, when I ask this, what I want to be when I'm 95, so the first thing for me is I want to look back and say, hey, I was helping to raise my kids in a way. And then, and with this now links straight to, I think, what we're doing here. Raising a family and your kids, you're also trying to achieve that they're having the same quality of life like we have. Honestly, I feel that the next generation will not have the luxury like we have. We will see through all impact on climate. Energy is very cheap. This will go all away. So I think our kids and our kids' kids will have a tougher life than we have. And if I can help, my dream, if I can look back and saying there was 90 and say I was helping to get certain things on its way to make their life as comfortable as our lives, then I really have done my job. And again, this is raising them in a way, but also help them that they can enjoy the freedom like we have. Like I say, you may have seen me, I drive a big F350 because we're pulling our horses around. I know it's horrible to the environment. That's most of my riding my motorcycle. It's much better. But, I still can have this luxury because, well, we are living on the debt of our children, I know. But if I can help them, that they can use the same freedom and having transportation, and they can afford it to visit their friends and go hiking in the mountains or go climbing or go to the beach. If we can achieve this, then I helped to move my dream a little bit further. And this is the reason I'm here. This is the place to be. Who else shouldn't do it? I mean, what we're doing in climate, what we're doing all this energy technologies, what we're bringing together in fuel, in biofuels, in lightweighting, electrification, all this, it's here. We have it in our tips. So we can help to move this forward. It's on us not doing this. That's my dream. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Martin. So coming back to your strategic versus focused thinking and thinking about big organizations like Oak Ridge, my impression of these kinds of institutions, and this is similar to the last institution I worked in over the past couple of decades, they've been pushed on the efficiency front. So do more, essentially sort of with less, enhanced productivity.
Yep.
And that's sort of manifested by, say, reducing time and personnel for management, reducing time and personnel for support, and pushing more and more tasks onto, say, researchers. So that seems to challenge sort of strategic thinking, because in some ways you could argue you're reducing both the time and people within the institution that have that task of being strategic, sort of visionary. It also challenges focused thinking because all of us are doing more.
You're
so
correct.
Is that erroneous assumption, or do
no,
you see that as well?
Because I tell you, you're leaving one element out there which I try to cover, which is the big thinking. And this is now where it comes in. Because look, what you say is dead on right. It's a big problem. But so now let's step back. What are we doing really here? Is this all really necessary? So I'll give you an example. Today I had these auditors in my office, and we talked about all this auditing stuff they're doing. And I'll challenge them and say, okay, so they're doing this kind of, RSSS and this whole process. And then this guy told me, well, we're reviewing this every year. I said, really? You're reviewing this every year? That's very interesting. I said, look, our organization, if I compare this to industry, we are like the snail crawling across a concrete path. That's what we are in comparison to industry. And you review this every year? So what is the investment of return? So how much did you improve our safety? Is it 1%? Is it 10%? Is it 0.01%? So what is the return of doing this? And this now comes back to what you just said. A lot of times, you're absolutely correct. If we would say, well, we streamline all this, we make it faster, we just push this all down to the research organization, then we might be cheaper, but at the end, we're just diluting research. The problem there, what I'm challenging also within our leadership team, is going down exactly this, what I would call big thinking. Do we need to do this? Do we need to have this review every year? What is if we are not doing this? Well, the organization might have a higher risk to have a breach in security, but what is this risk? So what is our return for doing this? Is it, again, a percentage? Is it 20%? Well, then it might be the organization is at risk and we need to work on this one. It might not give us any benefits. So if you just cut, and not thinking why you're doing this, then we're going absolutely in the wrong directions. And I always say a lot of what we're doing is we say, again, excuses, well, that's what our sponsor wants. And then if you look and drill into a lot of these procedures what we're doing, we are just afraid that the sponsor might say, oh, you haven't done this. We don't even know if the sponsor wants this, just to make sure we're doing it. So because we could have this issue. So it's again, the difference what I'm seeing from you spent 10 years in industry, your speed and you moved and you took some calculated risks to say, I need to take this calculated risk to move my agenda faster. We are completely risk adverse here. We never would take any risk, even down in the percentile, because we're afraid this could harm our organization. And with this, suddenly, we're building all this security and check and signing, because nobody really want to take the responsibility. And again, I have to say, publications as one of my pet peeves. Postdoc writes a publication, it goes to the staff scientist who reports, he or she signs off. It goes to the group leader, he or she signs off. It goes to the division director, he or she signs off. It comes to my desk. So, guys, do I really trust my staff? Or I'm not trusting them? So if I'm not trusting them, well, I have to get rid of them. Or change the place they're working in. So I need to give trust to my people. And also then being consequent. If they're not performing to my trust, I need to change it or eliminate these people. Again, there we're not doing this job as well. So you see, I think we need to change the way we're doing business. I am absolutely convinced. We need to get streamlined, we need to get more efficient, but you're absolutely correct. If you just go down this one-dimensional, not big thinking, we are missing the boat. And at the end, we will have no efficiency if we just change the way we're doing the cost accounting. But it's not changing our procedures. Again, I have to say, will it be easy? No. Look, you have to be realistic. Changing this is we're this big oil tanker and we're steaming ahead and then we make a decision to make this 90-degree change. This will take miles. We are not a ski boat. So again, you don't have to give up so easily. But what it is, how are we changing this culture? And the reason I talked to these two auditors, because one guy started in December, the other guy started in just a couple of weeks ago. They are still fresh. They have an open look. The same look a lot of you guys, especially the young guys. You are fresh. You're not ingrained in the system. Working here for a couple of years, you're ingrained. You're doing the same like everybody else because that's you. That's what the system does to you. You're getting ingrained. There's a time period where you can help to make this change. As again, I would tell everybody, don't get frustrated. It's not easy, but that's a challenge. But you have to be persistent. Don't give up. There's too much at stake because, again, who else should do it? We need to do this for our children. It's our job. We need to do this.